Come on, baby, don't fear the reaper. Really glad you bought that cowbell to prep for the upcoming GateSlashers live episodes.
Hey, you think death's real?
Like the concept of death, or like the skeleton in the big robe with the sick ass scythe?
Yes.
Well, I don't actually think either is a concrete thing. We've seen a lot of death during this whole thing, and we've never once seen a scythe. So I don't really think that version of death is real.
Yeah, I guess you're right. We've seen like a lot of death, and I feel like at some point we probably would have seen them.
As for death, also no. We live amongst superheroes who die and come back in a yearly rotation. Just like the Justice League died for like a day, then came back. Death is a revolving door.
So like with that, do you think heaven and hell exist? Like really? We've met monsters and demons, but I don't think we've ever met an angel or the devil.
Huh. Pull over at that crossroads. Let's change that. Hey everybody, just a little content warning. This episode we will talk about things that include sexual violence and drug use and just general violence and gore. So, listen with caution. Welcome to GateSlashers, a podcast dedicated to kicking open the door to your next favorite thing. Our mission, our creed, our code is this: to make all things more approachable and accessible to everyone. We want you to find a universe you will fall in love with. I'm Jake. I use he and pronouns.
And my name's Amanda, and my pronouns are she, her. So a little back of the box blurb, because we will be discussing.
We have not said what I forced you to watch.
I said a little back of the box blurb because we will be discussing Devilman Crybaby today, which I was tagged into this episode, and so I was like, yeah, sure, this is on my watch list, and a little spoiler alert, I regret that, everybody.
And I loved it.
But a little background on the actual conceit of the show. After he's saved from a street gang by his childhood best friend Rio, Akira is roped into Rio's scheme to expose the existence of demons, whose presence Rio claims the government has been keeping under wraps. When Akira is possessed by and then subsequently overpowers a terrifying demon named Amon, he becomes Amon's sentient host capable of transforming into a devil. As Akira continues aiding Rio in his quest, their relationship becomes strained and further terrifying violence ensues.
And some brief history on the topic. Created by Go Nagai in 1972, after evolving from a previous work, and only a few months later was adapted into a 39-episode anime that differed slightly from the manga, and it spawned several remakes of its classic anti-war tale, from Tales of Amon to Devilman Lady. As for Crybaby, in this remake of Go Nagai's classic Devilman, you are hit with tons of style and themes. Director Yusa Masaki and his studio Science Saru take their flattened, high-contrast, high-energy animation team into breathing new life into this story. In modernizing the story of the classic anti-war themes, changed over to cover things like in today's world, it's like sexuality, self-conscious, and confidence, and more. From a Black Sabbath to a drugs and sex-filled rave called a Sabbath, there are many changes that make this 10-episode Netflix original pretty good. I stole that second part from a thing I wrote for a little column that I started and never went back to. So it's something I plagiarized myself.
I love when I plagiarize
but
myself.
It's not plagiarism
I do that all the
because
time for work.
I am saying I stole it from myself, so that is citing my work.
And also, is it plagiarism if there's no proof that this was already originally published by you or somebody else?
Yes. Because there is proof.
Oh, right.
It is on the internet.
Oh, yes. It went up and then you never went back to the column. Got it.
Yeah, I did it. I posted it.
Alrighty, and let's see. So some Devilman Crybaby themes include, well, the original messaging of anti-war and the natures of humanity in the original are reinterpreted as a metaphor for bigotry around demons as the other. Themes of puberty, queer sex, love, war, prejudice, all that are here in the remake, which I did not know was a remake until you said it.
Oh, there's so many of them.
I love learning things.
So many. There's so much Devilman. And who may like this? Anyone who's really into horror may be suitable for those like Junji Ito and Attack on Titan. Is Attack on Titan really?
I think it's a good comp, honestly.
No, I mean, it's very political. I don't know if I'd call it a horror. That's the thing.
Oh, I don't know if I would call Attack on Titan specifically horror. I think it's
yeah, there is body horror, I guess.
Comparable for like somebody like there's definitely body horror and gore, and I think it still works for like people who kind of like the sensibilities of Attack on Titan will probably find a lot to love here.
Yeah, I mean, this is very much taking from the time that it was created because a lot of stuff in the 70s was anti-war. Because it was, just ever so slightly past World War II, and we kept on getting into a bunch of proxy wars. And that was affecting...
Yeah, but I also think if you, like, really break down, like, the core themes of a lot of, particularly shonen anime, a lot of it is anti-war.
Oh, yeah, no, I made a very big paper. I wrote a whole paper about that in college. Mm-hmm. I wrote a lot about Naruto. And the bad Gundams. I talked about Gundam Wing. The bad Gundam.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I love Gundam. But let's go to the discussion, but we got to do the thing because we're going to talk about spoilers and all that jazz.
Well, you can watch this on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We can watch this on Netflix.
Episode break.
Why hasn't he shown up?
Probably because your soul isn't worth much.
But if I get devil powers, it'll be so easy to fight the grave robber.
At the sacrifice of your mortal soul.
I'll get it back.
Yeah, okay.
I'm here to make a deal.
Jesus Christ, Dan, did you just headshot the devil?
Ooh, hamburgers. Yeah, sorry, it's a reflex. Just it's fine. He's fine. I just took a little off the top there.
Nope. He's dead. So, what do we do?
Grab a shovel.
And
Nice.
we're back.
We're back. Alrighty. Jake, I desperately need you to tell me why you love this so much. Please. I'm begging.
Oh, I love anti-war stuff. I also just
Is that
also
just the basis?
love I love the animation.
Okay, yes.
There's a lot of cheesy bullshit in this
animation. Yes, the Devilman Crybaby and like this animation is so cool. I really love its like use of color it gets like so trippy and psychedelic sometimes, and I love how like fluid the entire thing is. Like they're not really super concerned about looking super polished. I think they really leaned into like being just this hyper stylized animation. It really reminded me of like Studio Trigger with like Promare and Kill la Kill. Both of those are like slightly more refined, but I think it really leads into that just like absurdist animation of like, this is of maybe impossible.
I mean, Studio Trigger just did. I mean, they're big right now because they did they did the Cyberpunk anime.
Yeah.
Also, they did Big Drill.
Yes.
But we're not talking about big drills. We're talking about
We're talking about Devilman Crybaby and how my favorite part and probably the only part I really enjoyed was the animation.
Now explain for the listeners why you did not enjoy it.
I think that it has it was exploring some really good themes. Like I love I like, beyond the fact that at its core it's anti-war, I think I really love the religious allegory. I love that shit. And I really enjoyed how this character who's like so kind of down on his luck, but kind of still really happy-go-lucky at the end of the day, like turns into a devil and is constantly at war with like his own emotions. So he's like this big, scary, terrifying demon who's fucking crying. I love that. I love that concept because I'm just like, yeah, baby, you feel those feelings.
And it's not just his own feelings. He's feeling other people's feelings because he's like an empath. But like,
yeah,
he's not a douchebag that says, "Oh, I'm an empath," and then can't read the fucking room. I'm calling a lot of people out right now.
By the way, I'm an empath.
I'm an empath, and I think you're having a rough time. Like, nah, buddy, I'm slamming down these coronal lights. I'm having a good time.
I think that
never had a coronal light.
Like it's.
Or a Corona. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't drink a lot.
It's fine. No one will question you. But I just think it was like a overwhelming combination of like, while I really liked the art and how highly stylized and sort of absurd it was, like that is a lot to take in from, you know, just a basic standpoint. And then like the general themes are also like really heavy. And then you add religious allegory on top of that, which tends to get very heavy. And then, you know, it gets very grim dark, and you know, there's body horror, and then everybody dies. It's
the lead up to the apocalypse. I mean...
Okay, but I've watched many lead-ups to the apocalypse that weren't as grimdark as this.
Yeah.
I just don't appreciate narratives that don't have any kind of reprieve. It just felt relentless.
It kind of had, like, it felt more like a rise, and then it just drops. Just drops off, and like, oh no, everything is bad. Which...
Literally, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't finish it. I read the rest of it.
Okay, so you didn't see that Rio is actually Satan?
Oh no, sir, I did not finish it, but I read everything about it, and I enjoyed that reveal, which is what, like, I do really enjoy the religious allegory of it all. I think that's super cool. I love that he's a reincarnated Satan and that he's like, yeah, I'm gonna turn you into a devil because like you're really important to me and I want you to be by my side and help me with the end of the world and all that. And Akira's like, no, dude, fuck that. What the fuck? Your shit killed my entire family.
Hold on. Where did you drop off?
Where I think like episode 5.
Wow. So if that was too heavy for you, the rest of it's going to be just too much.
No, I know.
Like, absolutely.
That's why I stopped.
Like, absolutely. You did not need to see everybody die.
I did not need it. I did not need what I read. I did not need to see that animated because I would have come into this episode so much angrier.
Oh, yeah. Like, you didn't need to see Miki get, like, butchered.
No, I didn't need to see that. And I think that was excessive.
Yeah. It is very
and
much
okay,
a lot of everything.
I am gonna go on record and say that, like, is it totally out of left field? No. Is it, like, does it, like, it works with the themes and it works with the stories that they're trying to tell, and I understand why it was happening, and, like, people who are really into this kind of narrative, like, I can totally see them super enjoying this, but I am the kind of media consumer that needs some form of just, like, levity in a story. And, like, honestly, once Akira turns into a devil in fucking episode 1, I was like, oh, he's not my happy-go-lucky boy anymore.
I don't know what
like,
you're talking about.
'cause,
That
like,
man
I
watched
really-
porn in school on a big
I
projector
guess.
screen. He also...
I don't find that funny. I'm just like, I think that's a little gratuitous,
Yeah.
but also at the same time,
Oh,
I
no,
don't think it was out of left
everything
field.
about this was gratuitous.
Yeah, and I really
If it
loved his
wasn't-
interactions with Miki at the beginning. Like, I loved
Yeah.
their friendship there. I loved the street gang that just keeps coming out of nowhere and just fucking rapping. I loved that shit.
Yeah, they're great.
But it was just, like, relentlessly dark, and I can't hang with that kind of story.
That's fair. Like, it... Whew. I could go on about how much I like what I like about this.
No, definitely do it. Like, I recognize that the reason I don't like it is because it, like, it doesn't have a core thing that I look for
It's a
in
good
anything I consume.
It's a good thing that it's only 10 episodes on that note, because I do think if
I
it was
can't
any
imagine
more,
this being, like, longer.
Yeah.
I think 10 episodes is, like, a good space for that kind of story.
Granted, I think if you added too much levity to this, like, there is some levity, like, just like the way Akira like goes about living at times, like he's just kind of like cartoonish. Like him and Taro are kind of, granted that takes it goes real south after Taro becomes a Devilman.
Yeah.
But also, like, one of the major themes about this one is love. Like, since if I had known you hadn't finished it, I would have told you just to watch the final scene.
Sir, I don't know how to tell you. I promise you I know what happens.
I know. But it's a good scene.
It makes me sad just thinking about it.
How Satan learns that he's actually in love with Akira, and that...
Yes! And that he got the only person he ever loved murdered, and then at the end of the world he has nothing, and then the angels are like, ha 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 ha, we're just gonna nuke it. Like,
turns everyone to salt?
What?
He salts everybody.
I know.
Very Old Testament.
I get it, and I understand, and I like it conceptually. But the execution, bro, I would have been fully depressed for the rest of the week if I had watched that shit be animated.
Yeah, that's fair. I can't get super depressed anymore because I'm in therapy.
I'm not, so we have to mitigate that.
Granted, hold on. I'm trying to remember when this came out. Because if I'm correct, it was actually...
2017? I think I made that up.
No, you might be right. So this actually probably came out 2018.
I was close.
It came out January. So I watched this actually Oh yeah, no, that came out when I was seeing someone and it was going pretty badly because like she was having medical problems. If I'm correct, if this is the time period I'm thinking of.
Oh my god.
Because I think so. Yeah. Because I started seeing her in late 2017.
Is she good?
Yeah, she's fine.
Okay.
I don't speak to her anymore. She seems fine.
That's fine. Y'all could have had the worst falling out in history, but if that story was gonna end with she's dead now, I don't want it.
Yeah. Like it wasn't even on my radar. Like I had an old friend. She was posting about it on I think Facebook, and that's how I felt. I was like, oh yeah, let me look into it.
Listen, I'm kind of sad that I didn't really enjoy it because this had been on my watch
because
list.
this is like a big
for forever.
This was a big thing when it came out. Like people were writing about it a lot. Like people
just the vibes. The vibes weren't there.
Yeah, I mean, it's only something you can revisit and be like, I'm more attuned to this later on.
Now that I like really know what to expect and sort of like can go into it with the knowing that it just goes downhill from here, bro. Like,
I mean,
if I were to be having like a really good brain day, I'd be like, let's go. No, I'm not desensitized because I actively avoid them.
Yeah. I mean,
because they make me sad.
Everyone knows my brother if they're listening to this podcast.
I know both of you very well.
Granted, this I can understand more. I mean, granted, at some point I've heard somebody say they didn't like Hunter x Hunter. That boggles my mind.
I haven't watched Hunter x Hunter. That's also on the list.
Well, let me know if you enjoy that one because I think it was it was Scarlett. Scarlett didn't like it. We recorded a whole episode about it.
Oh no.
But this was my second watch through of this since it came out. Mm-hmm. And I'm a lot more political now. So watching it was like, oh, there's just a bunch of shit in here like I didn't pick up on. Like the fact that stores were selling, oh, demon stuff. Like capitalism will find a market in anything.
Capitalism always finds a way.
Capitalists are evil.
They sure are.
Yeah.
Ooh, something that really deeply unsettled me was the photographer.
Oh yeah, especially because like, oh yeah, I should give a content warning at the top of the thing.
Yes. Okay, we haven't talked about it yet. Hello, good friends, if you are still watching. Devilman Crybaby does have some sexual violence themes, and
I mean, it's got
particularly
all the violence,
particularly
every single type.
It does have a lot of violence, but like particularly sexual assault of a minor.
Yeah. Granted, then there's that whole fucking
just
weird thing about Japan and their age.
So many weird sex club things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you also wouldn't have seen. You would have read about Miko having sex with a man who held her up at gunpoint, and then she just fucks him while his head explodes.
Yeah. We should record a content warning later. And put it at the top of the episode, actually.
I'll talk to Dan about that tomorrow because I'm recording the opening then.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rapping boys.
I love them.
I love how they didn't. They only translated the one.
Absolute nonsense. Every time they showed up, I was like, "Let's go!" I really needed that. That kept me going.
I really liked Taro. just like just being a little kid and being like, oh, let me keep watching the original Devilman opening.
Yeah, I didn't really like catch that, obviously, because I wasn't aware that there was an original of any kind.
They
but
talk about it all the time.
Cool.
It's weird.
I thought that was really cool. Like, now that I'm thinking back on it, that they reference themselves. I love when shit does that.
And I also read that, because I haven't seen the original or read the original, because the original manga is different than the original anime, because the anime started a month after the manga. Because that's how things happened back then. They did plan them in advance. And Rio and Satan aren't in the original anime.
Interesting.
It's another demon that only pops up for a little bit.
Is the original also like religious allegory, or is that unique to this one?
Oh no!
Obviously, there's like the demons themselves, like that lends to religious allegory. But I mean, like the specific reincarnation and end of the world stuff.
Yes. So the original ends the same way. The original manga. I don't know about the anime, but yeah, no. Satan ends up killing Akira, and yeah, but also you missed the cute little parts where it was flashing back, and then a young Rio and Akira were in a little hot spring, and then capybaras came in.
Listen, I am already like
also Rio wanted to kill them.
I am already I was preemptively mourning their relationship.
Oh yeah. No, like
before anything happened, before I read the ending, I was like, these two fucks. Something's gonna happen and I'm not gonna like it. I feel it.
It leaves a lot to leaves a lot of hints that Rio is Satan. If you didn't notice, if you didn't know the original story beforehand, you wouldn't be like looking for these things. Like Rio's apartment number is 666. He knows who Amon is before he possesses Akira, or Akira possesses him.
I think this is the kind of show, especially like with all of the lore behind it, and with like it's a redo of a redo of a redo. I think this lends itself to like rewatches, because you get a lot of stuff in there that, like, first of all, you didn't see at the beginning, like with the big reveal, and then suddenly you're like, oh god, what? He's Satan? And then you look back and you're like, oh shit, it's Satan. And then like all those little bits about like Taro watching the original Devilman, like I think those are really cool nods.
Yeah, there's so many different creations. There's the original manga, the original anime. There's Shin Devilman, which is a different manga that came out in the late 70s, which is one volume. I don't know the difference between them. Then there's the Shin Devilman novels. There's Devilman the Birth. There's Devilman the Birth OVA, Devilman Demon Bird Siren, the novel series Devilman the Novel, Neo Devilman, Demon Knight, Devilman versus Getter Robo.
That's so much Devilman.
Silene Chan. There's also the live action 2004. There's also the spin-off manga Devilman Grimoire. There's Devilman versus Hades. There's Devilman Saga.
Bro, people love Devilman.
There's also
the fuck.
So there is. That's just certain things. That's the written stuff mainly. There is.
Oh my god, guys, listeners! I think y'all just need to ignore me, honestly.
Devilman the Birth.
Clearly, people are on to something if there are this many.
Oh yeah, no, this is
Devilman
like
things.
super big. It's super political. Of course, people like it. I mean, there's Devilman the Birth. There's Amon Apocalypse of Devilman, which I don't know what the. There's Cyborg 009 versus Devilman, which is on. I think it might still be on Netflix. It is pretty fun. The Cyborg 009, I haven't watched. I don't know too much about them, but they're kind of fun. There's Manzinger Z versus Devilman, which is wild because I think that's like the one of the first mechas versus Devilman. There's a lot of Devilman. There's also Devilman Lady, where everyone is gender swapped. Oh wait, it just might be okay. So it looks like it's okay. It's known as it's Devil Lady in the U.S. and it's Devilman Lady. Wow, that's a very skimpier Amon. That's weird. Not surprised, but that's weird.
I mean, considering
it's
the rest of the content,
but hey, it's listed as Yuri.
I would not be surprised.
It's listed as Yuri.
Sexy demon.
Oof. So I guess she kind of. It seems like Akira's. It sounds like Akira's in there.
Maybe. Oh.
Oh God! That's even weirder.
Share with the class.
This is weirder. Okay, I'm just reading the Wikipedia. Asuka, who I'm assuming is, if I'm looking at this right, is the Rio stand-in. Seduces and impregnates June, who is the I guess the Akira stand-in, while possessing a male form. Also important to note that Satan in this is depicted as intersex. Asuka reveals she was born a male, but chose to hide himself as a female in a female form from the eyes of God. That probably says something to somebody. After June is,
I'm generally always confused and concerned about like mainstream gender swapping shenanigans because I'm just like, how much research did you put into that? I need to know.
This gets worse. After June is forced to give birth to her giant Devilman form, in her giant Devilman form, to a full-grown Akira Fudo.
What? What?
That's all I got.
What is happening?
I don't know if I like this one.
Maybe don't watch that one. Maybe we'll just go back to regular Devilman Crybaby.
Oh, this one has a different crossover with Cutie Honey versus Devilman Lady. Well, that's a magical girl one.
What? I mean,
but also it's a magical girl,
it,
but it's also an android girl.
That's a lot. That's too many tropes. Too many. Pick one. Pick one and stick to it.
Oof. Oh, that's because Gogu Nagai made that one too. Okay. This all makes a lot more sense. Okay, so Go Nagai is a Japanese manga artist and prolific author of science fiction, fantasy, horror, and erotica.
And erotica. You gotta sneak that in there.
Yeah. Oh wait, he made Mazinger Z. Which is, I think, one of the biggest things. One of them big ones.
One of them biggins.
Yeah, it created the mecha boom in the anime.
Neat.
Boy.
Okay, so clearly we owe a lot to Go Nagai.
Yeah.
But Go Nagai, I have qualms, I have questions. But I feel like I have qualms and I have questions for any anime of this scope.
Looks like it also helped Shonen Jump sell millions of copies per week with one of his ecchi things.
I mean, I guess.
I mean, this was back in, the 70s when, or 60s or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I kind of, forgot already that this, the original iteration was from 1972.
Yeah.
Which was 50 years ago.
Yeah, you didn't have your Marvel movies.
I didn't have my wholesome Hikaru no Go.
Yeah, this was before the days of the wholesome Boku no Pico.
No, we cannot talk. No, we cannot talk about Boku no Pico. Do not Google that. Don't Google it.
I'm a problem.
Just a little one.
I don't know. I'm pretty big.
You are pretty
strong.
tall. Very strong.
And loud.
That's also
especially
true.
when I'm drunk. I was apparently yelling at that whole party.
Listen, I think all of us were yelling at that entire party. But it's fine. We use our yelling to yell about things we enjoy. Or, in my case, things that we begrudgingly watched.
I mean, you could have begrudgingly finished it.
I could have begrudgingly finished it, but I would like to maintain what little happiness I have left. I would like to not set the serotonin on fire.
I just googled Devilman, but funny.
Devilman, but funny.
It is, the first picture is Akira punching Taro in the head. Akira, who stole Maki's phone.
Wait, him? Him jumping down from the balcony and just, yoinking Miki's phone was so funny. He was like, get the fuck off the phone! I don't trust this guy. Oh, man. And, this fucker, he's out here being a fucking creep and,
well, yeah.
taking pictures of teenage girls. Granted, okay, he's doing it because somebody else is telling him to, but also at the same time, bro, grow a pair. And then...
he says he wants to...
He's like, oh, but I want to be a journalist. I want to, do real work. And it's like, okay, don't be a fucking creep while doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Perhaps. Go do a gossip column or something. Like normal people. Talk about astrology.
Yeah, I mean...
Don't take photographs of naked teenage girls.
Especially when they're not, knowing of it.
Exactly! Don't do that shit!
Or, ever, because, ugh.
Don't do that
just
shit!
The fact that his job was to do it while they weren't aware was even worse.
Yeah. It's literally, so fucking gross. And, it's that, ugh. I get that these kinds of storylines, they're so unfortunately real.
Yeah.
And, it's not depicting it is depicting something that doesn't happen. But at the same time, I'm you really scraped the bottom of the barrel for, all of the possible things that are just, the worst bits of society and put it all in one show.
I'm just on Google Images. Ooh. The Four Horsemen did nothing wrong.
The Four Horsemen did nothing
Rio,
wrong.
Griffith, the bad guy from Monster. One of the guys from. If I'm correct, it's the douchebag.
only 4 horsemen who did nothing wrong are the X-Men.
I don't think that's true either.
Listen, they did nothing wrong. Only because it was an incompetent movie. But if you're out here saying the 4 horsemen did nothing wrong, like I love end of the world narratives and I love apocalypse, but like I'm not gonna sit here and like ooh baby girl.
You want them to win the apocalypse though.
I don't want them to ooh baby girl the fucking 4 horsemen. Like, okay, fine. In this situation where the world is clearly fucking a fucking nightmare, fine, burn it all. I don't care. Whatever. I think that's another thing that
Yeah, the whole point of the show is people are actually awful.
Where like the whole point of the show is just like, yeah, you see society, it's fucking terrible and we need to burn it all down. And I'm just like, I mean, while I don't necessarily disagree, maybe perhaps.
Oh my! I just found I found a panel from the original Devilman. It's before Akira turns into Devilman. He's
when he's still like a tiny baby.
Yes. He's watching Rio smoke, and then he goes, "You smoke?" Rio then says, "Oh, it's laced with drugs."
It's laced with drugs.
It's laced with drugs, people.
The way these 16-year-olds walked into a fucking rager.
You mean Professor 16-year-old?
Sorry, Professor 16-year-old and his childhood best friend 16-year-old walked into this fucking rager just like teeming with drugs and naked women.
Hell yeah.
What? And like, okay. I just think, as Satan...
Well, Satan's got
you probably had... But like, I just think as Satan, you probably should have had the ability to summon these demons without just knifing people with a broken bottle.
Yeah, so... Also, he takes all that footage he did of him killing a bunch of people, blurs out his own face, and then says it's Akira. And then blasts
that's some fucking shit!
It's a bad edit, too. Like, anyone with half a fucking brain can see, oh yeah, that guy's got blonde hair. And you can see Akira trying to stop him.
Yeah!
It's great.
Listen,
People are just stupid, that's the whole thing.
People are very stupid and like the scourge of the earth, but also like I don't care how mad I am at the world and at society at large. Would probably never openly campaign for the end times. Would probably would also probably not try to lead a rebellion against Satan.
So, I'm going to say this
I think that just spells
because of
disaster.
Rio's haircut, because I read that somebody said, oh yeah, it's like a, I think somebody called it like the Korean styled like undercut bob type thing. But I'm looking at it now, I'm like, Rio's kind of just like the anime version of Ellen, the way people talk about Ellen.
Oh my god.
Like, shows like outwardly like, oh, I'm a nice person and all this stuff, and like talks about stuff, and then turns out to be really mean and evil.
You really said Rio is a talk show lesbian.
Yeah. Rio has a talk show.
Rio has a talk show lesbian vibe. He's actually Satan.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean...
That's insane. Talk show lesbian. A talk show lesbian. I feel like I'm just gonna like keep harping on this idea that like
I'm just saying things for time.
Oh my god! Don't say that. We're talking about the show. But no, I really think I'm just gonna keep harping, like knowing that it's not my vibe, and that there are merits to this show, I think I'm just gonna keep harping on the fact that, like, they really said, we're gonna make a show. We're gonna fill it with all the worst parts of humanity, and we're gonna give you absolutely no reprieve. We're gonna give you no concept of a
as
happy
it keeps
ending.
on breaking down the one guy who believes in people.
Exactly! They literally said, we're gonna give you a main character who believes in humanity and believes in his friends and believes in, like, justice so fervently, and we are going to give him nothing. We are going to kill him, and then
Chop him right in half.
his boyfriend's gonna be sad about it.
Yeah.
We're gonna murder his entire family. We're gonna put them on stakes. People are gonna parade the streets with their dead bodies
Yeah.
to show you that the world is a terrible place. And it's like, bro, I don't need to watch a show to tell me that.
But you also didn't get to see the nice part where Akira saves a bunch of humans as Devilman, and then gets a whole line of people who want hugs.
That's adorable. They all die.
No. Only some of them die.
But they die later.
Oh yeah, everyone dies.
Yeah.
The Earth is gone.
So what's the point? What is the point? I just find it so
and the
difficult
point is,
to,
war
like,
is pointless.
War is pointless.
And that's
I
the
get
point
it.
of Devilman.
Well, I don't like it.
And I'm looking at this gif that's of Rio saying,
I don't
make
enjoy-
awful life choices.
Yeah, you do. I don't enjoy media that
Where is he
exists
getting-
for the sake
I
of
want to
making
know
a
where all
point.
these people in Japan are getting guns.
The world is a terrible place. I don't know.
It's probably really hard to get guns in Japan.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't Rio in Brazil, though?
I think it was somewhere in South America.
Well, he has an American driver's license, and then he was on an expedition in the Amazon rainforest, and
Yeah.
then he came to Japan. So he probably got...
yeah, he said
The fucking machine gun.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, that's a machine gun. He's like, yeah, I know, but like, why do you have it?
It's like, yeah, bitch, I know what a machine gun is. I'm not
also,
stupid.
I'm pretty sure it was an assault rifle.
I mean, maybe they dubbed it wrong. Either way, gun violence bad.
I'm looking at the original panel of that now. The guy says to him, "You must be crazy." That's right, I'm crazy, and he's just nonchalantly shooting.
That's kind of funny.
No, these old panels are funny as hell.
I really think that the viscerality of the art just compounded the absurdity.
Oh, hold on.
no, what?
I'm gonna send this page to you. It's amazing. Holy.
Oh god.
Oh my god. This is so funny. Why? Hold on. That's why. I'm sending it on Slack. Just look at his facial expression.
What? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I did not look up any of the original. Is this from 1972?
I'm guessing. I just looked up Devilman but funny.
I did not look.
I think
okay,
these
so
are real.
this might not even be real.
I think it is.
You think it is, but we don't have concrete evidence. But bro, when I tell you Rio has sideburns to hell. Okay, they both have sideburns to hell. But Rio has sideburns to hell and the worst fucking rat tail I've ever seen. With a helmet head, and he's blonde, so like that just makes it worse. Sorry, not sorry to blondes. But like this bitch goes, my father died.
Oh, yeah, no, it's real. That's a real page. But like,
oh my god!
But like when
he
he's saying,
was my only family.
he's
Because of that, I
smiling.
became
He's
totally
smiling.
alone. And he's saying this with the tiniest little smirk. What the fuck? This okay? Listen. I'm glad, or not really glad, but like whatever, that at the end of it all, he was like, wow, my terrible actions caused me to lose the love of my life, and now my goal to see the world end means nothing to me. Like, I'm glad that he had this realization, but at the same time, the entire fucking show, you were a little psycho. An actual psycho. I would like to believe that Satan has some moral compass. I might not love that moral compass, but like, I really don't think Satan is just a little fucking psycho. Depending on how you would like to argue this religious allegory. I like to think Satan was right. Just not this one.
What?
I said I like to think Satan was right. Just not this one. Not this iteration of Satan. Different Satan.
I mean, well, there's also, this is more of so a depiction of Lucifer than Satan.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because this is one of the only Japanese depictions of, like, the devil that Satan and Lucifer are the same.
Interesting.
Because most iterations, because in original text, older texts of the Bible and all that jazz, Satan and Lucifer are completely different figures. They're both princes of hell, but they're both different figures. Which is different than how we, Christianity in like America and Europe depict it now, because they're normally, combined.
Yeah.
And how Lucifer was jealous of humanity or something like that. I can't remember the original story.
Yeah, I think it's really, like, cool and interesting to see things that, like, I grew up knowing, like the general, the fall of Lucifer and, Satan and God and all that religious stuff. Like, the things I grew up knowing in a Western context and, like, how these same or similar stories are interpreted in
Hold on.
a different culture. I think that's really cool to see.
I'm sending you a picture of them being boyfriends.
Isn't this when he's talking to him when he's dead?
Yep. Oh, you're sleeping, huh?
Just, this man has no lower body. Ryu has gone full biblical angel.
Oh, yeah.
And Akira, he's
Got all...
just talking, he's just having a good little monologue at Akira, and Akira is fully dead, bro.
Yeah, like...
He does the same thing in the
Satan
show. A cute little monologue, and then he's like, wait, you're dead.
Yeah, but like Satan's doing it like dick out, tits out.
Tits out?
Yeah. Intersex. I'm just looking at old panels now. It's wild.
This is an audio medium?
Yes, it is. I'm describing them at least.
We're describing them in the best detail we can. Alt audio text.
1000101011110. And then Miko kills that one kid. The one that was nice to her. He takes her glasses, and that causes the other kid to betray them.
Yeah.
There are aspects of the art style that kind of are reminiscent of the original.
Aspects of the Devilman Crybaby that are reminiscent of the manga, or
Yeah, no, they're just the original art style.
yeah, I think they really
Like, it makes some of the goofier pages look better.
yeah, because I think when you see something like if you paused Devilman Crybaby literally anywhere, you'd be like, "What the fuck is that?" But I think that could be said for a lot of animated media when you have like those transitional panels and you pause at just the right moment and you're like, bro, did you try? But that not in like a reductive way, but that's like the entirety of Devilman Crybaby, where it's like, bro, did you try? But they used it in a really cool stylistic manner that really kept everything flowing really quickly. Like, I think the show had really good pacing.
Yeah.
And just kept going at a pretty steady clip. Like, you get so much information.
Yeah, this could not have been done in 39 episodes.
Yeah. But yeah, I think if you like really, if y'all had a second and went to Google some of the like 1972 pages and then compared it to like watching the actual Devilman Crybaby, I think they took a lot of inspiration from like that 70s art and how it's just like so swoopy. You know what I mean?
Very swoopy.
Thankfully, they gave Akira a better haircut. I don't necessarily know if they gave Rio a better haircut, but
what are you
remains
talking
to be
about?
seen.
I was able to make my comparison. 100%
Yes,
better.
that doesn't mean it's a good haircut.
I mean, when he's Satan, it's also like a ultra feathery, lightweight, bouncy looking haircut.
Well, that's because he also has wings coming from his head.
Well, yeah. Feathery. Easy, breezy, beautiful Satan.
Cover girl. I love biblically accurate Satan. Tits out.
I just stumbled on a page where it's Akira naked in a burning room. And then Rio comes in and he's like collapsing and has a headache or some bullshit. Probably because he's remembering he's Satan.
That's my life. Hashtag, this is fine.
Now I need to find a picture of Miki as the lo-fi beats girl. Because that probably exists.
Why?
Oh, because I just bought a pin of the Yu Yu Hakusho where it's Keiko as the lo-fi girl and Yusuke is just kind of ghosting above her.
I've seen some art where like Shinso from My Hero Academia is the lo-fi hip hop girl.
Oof. Oh wait, hold on. We should. Have you been seeing anything about that on TikTok about the latest chapter's cover?
Oh yeah, about Hagakure being fully naked. Yeah. That is what I'm desensitized to. That is what I'm desensitized to. You're desensitized to this?
No, like
that. I didn't even blink.
No, I just said,
like,
well, that's a choice. Like,
I did. So many people are like actually having opinions about.
Oh yeah, no,
it.
I don't give a shit.
I didn't even blink.
I just thought
uh-huh.
it was the weirdest timing. Because
I mean,
it's
the chapter art doesn't always correlate with.
Oh no, normally
what's actually happening.
It's like some like, oh, the full cast in like, oh, medieval garb and all of that. Like, that's never happened in My Hero, as far as I know. But it's just weird that it happened when it happened.
Listen,
because it's
this
final
this is
battle.
my sensibility. No, wait, but listen, this is my sensibility because everything is going to shit. Everything is terrible. Here, have a picture of a naked woman. And then I'm sitting here watching Devilman Crybaby, and the best parts, I'm like, ha! Naked people. While everything's going to shit, I'm like, yes, this is what I need.
So many boobs.
But then the naked people start turning into devils. Listen, how have we not
Demon
mentioned
titties.
this one woman's boobs? Yes, the demon tits. Why did her boobs just suddenly turn into mouths?
There's a worse one.
What do you mean there is a worst one?
There's a worse one. There's one where her tits just start spewing. Like, it looks like milk. And so there's a from her groin. I'm like, what the fuck?
Is it acid lactation?
I think so. It's just spraying everywhere. And like she's being experimented on. Apparently that's a bigger form is a bigger
she's being
carrot.
Experimented on?
Yeah. Because she's a devil man.
I don't like that. I don't.
Yeah, they kidnap a bunch of devil men.
Of course they have government experimentation in this. Why wouldn't they? Just keep piling it up. Just add it.
I kind of want to read the original.
What else can we add to this show? Let's make it even more depressing.
Only one penis, and that's Satan's.
Only one peen.
Only one dick and balls, and it's the Lord of Hells.
Only one dick and balls, and it's the Lord.
You want a cock? Satan's cock. What a fucking series.
Oh my god.
Also, Akira does almost have sex with Amon's, does kind of have sex with Amon's partner from hell.
Yeah, I mean, that only makes sense,
And then they end up
honestly.
fighting in the sky, and it also kind of looks like they are still fucking when they're fighting. Wild.
There are
And then-
animals. There are specific airborne animals who do. Dragonflies do that. Dragonflies fucking fly.
I didn't know that.
I did know that. If you see two dragonflies that are like on top of each other while they're flying, they're fucking.
The more you know. You think dragonflies are anti-war?
I feel like most insects might be
I
anti-war,
don't think that's...
except maybe
I don't know. I
cockroaches.
think ants probably have war. A lot of animals actually do go to war. It's weird.
Well, if you watch the Woody Allen movie, they go to war.
I mean... Hold on. What is Woody Allen's big controversy? I know that's a big one.
Woody Allen is a sex pest, just like all the rest of them.
Yeah, I just can't remember which one it was. Oh, yeah, his adopted daughter.
Yeah, he's a sex pest. But
Sex
those
pest.
ants are anti-war. I think bees might be anti-war.
No, they go to war with wasps.
Well, no, they have a queen.
No,
they have a monarchy.
yeah, they also go to war with wasps a lot.
Yeah, if you have a monarchy, you can't be anti-war.
Yeah.
England. Cockroaches are definitely not
I
anti-war.
haven't pointed out the queen's dead. It's been that's the first time I said that today.
Oh, God. Cockroaches are probably definitely pro-war because they know they'll survive it.
Yeah.
I think dragonflies are anti-war.
I mean, they fuck on the go. It's kind of like having sex in a Tesla that's on autopilot or auto drive.
Yeah, until you get locked in your Tesla and it sets itself on fire.
Well, yeah, it's because Teslas are actually poorly made pieces of shit. Like, you wreck a Tesla, there's no way to fix it because it's not built like a car.
Unlike my serotonin and happiness, there is a way to fix it. Don't watch the rest of Devilman.
Boy. Oh, boy.
Did you have anything else about Devilman that you, like, really needed me to know? Knowing what you know about how I feel about Devilman.
You should watch Barakamon.
What is that?
It's wholesome as hell.
Don't lie
No,
to me.
this is real. Look it up. Look at Barakamon. It's one of my favorites. It's a good cool down anime. So if you guys feel real down after watching Devilman, watch Barakamon, which is I think 12 episodes.
Is it Barakumin? Barakumin.
Barakamon.
It's already telling me it's about a caste system.
No. Barakamon. Barakamon.
It's literally. I finally found it, but okay, this does look kind of wholesome, but it could be secretly terrible. But Google just kept trying to give me Barack Obama.
Well, nobody's Irish is Barack Obama.
It was like, are you searching for Barack Obama?
No one's as Irish as Barack Obama.
All right, everybody. So I guess if you do make it all the way through Devilman Crybaby, congrats. I'm proud of you. I hope you still have some happiness left in your body.
You can, because you'll do what I say and go watch Barakamon.
Yes, if you make it all the way and you don't have happiness left in your body, I guess go watch Barakamon. But also, do you want to know what else will make you happy? Guess.
More GateCrashers?
Following us on all of our social media. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and probably other places at GateCrashers Pod. And you can also check out more of our podcasts wherever you listen to podcasts. And we also write a lot of really cool articles and reviews, and you can find those on gatecrashers.fan.
Wait, we do?
We do. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody.
Bye.
You look like an angel, walk like an angel, talk like an angel, but I got wise. You're the devil in disguise.
You just shot our chance at stopping the grave robber. Are you happy?
Yeah, that 7-Eleven had pumpkin spice Slurpee flavors.
You don't think killing Satan will have consequences?
Like getting a brain freeze from this new 7-Eleven pumpkin spice Slurpee? I don't know, probably.
That's a problem for future Dan and Jake. Well, off to Derry then.